Let's check out a new model. Actually, it's called Model 2 from the brand Alkin. Charlie over there was so kind to send this over to me. It's kind of making its rounds. I think it was just over at the Watch Report with Don Evans. Maybe I'll put a link to his video in the description too. He does really good videos. If you're not familiar with his channel, check it out. But this one is the Model 2. This is a prototype, so there will be some upgrades, some changes to this one, and I will note those. But let's talk about the size first, because when you first get it in hand, it's a little misleading. It almost seems like it's a larger watch than it really is. So the case is 41 millimeter, and with the super compressor offset crowns, it's going to wear like a 41 millimeter. It's not going to wear any larger for sure, even though it looks a little bit larger. And then the lug to lug, you can see there, nice turn down, pretty much all brushed surfaces with a semi-polish there, but still kind of brushed polish. It's not really polished. The lug to lug is about 48.5 mil, drilled lugs obviously, 13 millimeter thick, but that is partially including the double domed sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating. And you have a 20 millimeter lug width here. Bracelet tapers down to 18 mil. You have a milled out clasp, 6 micro adjust on that guy. So like I've mentioned before, I actually kind of like this style clasp on a lot of the micro brands out there. And I suspect we're going to start seeing even better clasp in the future, but I do like this one for sure. One of the improvements that's going to happen in the final production is the branding Alkin there will be larger on the clasp. I know it's subtle, but it makes a difference, all those little subtleties. Since we're talking about changes versus the prototype, let's mention a few others. There's going to be better loom, which I will do a loom shot. There is loom on this prototype, but the loom on the production model will be more intense on all aspects of the loom. And then the bezel resistance will be slightly stiffer versus this one, even though I feel like this one's pretty good. The production model will have a little bit more resistance in it. So I think that's about it for the changes. There might be some different packaging or something like that. So it is on a pre-order, and I'll put a link to Alkin's website in the description as well. The pre-order sale price right now is, I believe, 335 British pounds. I think roughly converted, that's about 425 US dollars. So you're definitely under that $500 mark, and you have a really good, well-built, like tooly type watch, super legible, and it's, like I said, the production model is going to have a very heavy, good amount of loom. I believe the loom is going to be BGW9. The movement is the Miyota 9039er. You can see there through the display. They have their marked rotor. Oh, and I didn't mention this, but because it is, the pricing, the website, everything was in British pounds. This is a British designed company. So, and this is a 300 meter water depth rating on this guy. I think I covered pretty much all the main talking points, other than its production date. They're scheduled or slotted, hopeful anyway, for November, December of this year, 2020. So I know it seems like a long way off, but it's kind of not, guys. We're past the middle of July already. Like it'll be here before you know it. And taking advantage of pre-order sale prices with certain brands is certainly the way to go, because once that's over, the price is probably going to jump up close to $100. Let's do a little close-up on this and take a look, because there are some different things going on here. If you can take my reflection in the crystal there a little bit. But this is a sandwich dial, but it's also printed on dial. You have a really nice arrow hand set framed in, so very bold, very easily legible. And I like having the sandwich dial incorporated also with the print on there. It's just so much dimension to the watch. There are other colorways with this. Obviously, this one's black. I believe there's a blue one. I don't remember what other colors. Plenty of traction on the crowns. This one's signed with the Alkin A, and then this one just kind of has a crosshatch pattern on it. But the crowns are very easy to use, which we can demonstrate that right now. Let's unscrew this guy. Has a nice pop to it. It was audible to me. I don't know if you guys were able to pick that up. and you go ahead and pop it out. This is a no date model, so you're going to be able to hack the movement, which means stop the seconds hand, so you can set it precise timing. And very, very light amount of crown wobble there. It's actually pretty solid feeling. I didn't have to backspin it. It felt like it just caught the thread right away. Let's check out the internal rotating bezel here. Ooh, nice solid pop on that. Almost even more of a pop than the time setting one. So, and you can rotate that either direction. I don't feel any indents, so there's no like markers. I don't think that's something they're going to add or anything. But it seems tight. It doesn't seem like there's any play or wobble when you're transitioning forward or backward on this. And then the other check will be once you push it in, it should engage like a clutch or disengage it from rotating the bezel, because I've seen some of those break. Screws in, no problem. Now you're not going to operate that underwater, because I think you will lose your water resistance. I know people have mentioned that before about a possible con with an inner rotating bezel. If you decide to, I don't know, unscrew your crowns while you're underwater to adjust your dive time. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but I don't dive. So bracelets, pretty well constructed. Really nice screws. I didn't pop those out, but the machining on them looks really good. I don't see any problems there. And it is articulated on that first link, so it almost lays flat, but it's plenty comfortable with that 48.5 lug to lug. There's not going to be any problem. Let's pop this guy on wrist, and then we'll give you a loom shot at the end. Like I said, I didn't size this, but it sits good on wrist. I dare say it almost has like a, I know this might seem weird and maybe you don't see it, but it almost has like a Zen 104 feel to it, but with offset crowns and a larger display because the bezel's not external. But the case, like on wrist, is very familiar, and it makes me think of the Zen 104. I think it's just the shape of the lugs and the turn down of them and the lug to lug. It's extremely comfortable, and it has a little bit of weight to it, which it's not like overweighty. It's not like, you know, a heavy watch by no means, but it has the right amount of weight where you feel like it just settles in, like it's not going to move around or anything. And the Zen 104 does that too. It just kind of settles in. And I get the same feeling with this watch. So I think this is a really good model to check out if you guys like the super compressors, or if you're just looking for, I don't know, an internal rotating bezel type dive watch, whatever you're looking for. Maybe this checks some boxes for you guys. So let's kill the lights and see the Loom on this prototype. I suspect it's going to be pretty good. Yeah, it's still pretty good. And Charlie said it's going to be even better on the production model. Although this does look kind of greenish, and I think on his note card that he gave me, it was going to be BGW9. So I don't know. It's got a little bit of a blue tint to it. I think you guys are picking it up on the camera too. So I think it's pretty bright as it is. So if they're going to make it even brighter, that's going to be awesome. That's going to be really good. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next vid.